bit of what Max talked about, and that is that in our life, we're going to have an ungodly amount of opportunities, and or we could call them opportunities, or we could call it stress, right? We're going to have issues in our personal life, we're going to have issues in our professional life, and you know, I talk to my managers all the time because they ask me, they said, John, you have your own personal life, you have your daughters, and you run 2 gigantic businesses. How do you deal with the stress and the problems that you face each and every day? And the answer to that is, the key for me is I am crystal clear about my direction. I have no shadow of a doubt what I want to do spiritually, financially, emotionally, physically, family-wise, relationship-wise. I'm crystal clear with what my direction and intentions and ultimately the path that I want to travel. And I share that with you because a lot of you all want to do better and want to achieve more and want to grow, but you're not quite clear how to do it. So, like, for instance, I talked about in this room Notemaster, and I said it's an app that you can download, and then basically you could set up notes in there. One of my notes that's in there is my title is called Life Part 2. Because for me, hopefully I have exactly the same amount of years in the second half that I had in the first, but I definitely know I'm in Life Part 2. How many people are in Life Part 2 right now? Raise your hand. So we have a lot of people in this room are in that second part, but in that Life Part 2, I have 20 things that I list. And in those 20, I talk about numerous things and my direction. But number 1 is I want to wake up a better man today than I was yesterday. And think about that for a minute. I want to wake up a better man today than I was yesterday. Doesn't mean I'm going to be younger. I'm certainly not going to be younger, but I'm going to be better. So if you think about something, and here's what a lot of people do wrong. The sun doesn't measure its light by the shadow that it casts. Think about that. The sun doesn't measure its light by the shadow that it's cast, which means we're not defined by what we've done and who we were. We're defined by what we're becoming. Does that make sense? So Jim Rohn, who I talked about quite a bit to you all in the past, my favorite quote from Jim Rohn is, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. So I will challenge each and every one of you. I listed six things: spiritually, financially, emotionally, physically, family, relationship. I would challenge you all to have a goal each and every day to be a better person than you were the day before in each one of those areas. Now, spiritually, whether you believe in God or not, it doesn't really matter your religion, but it matters the path that you're on spiritually. Do you believe in a higher power? Are you connected and centered? Are you taking action to make yourself a more peaceful, loving individual? Financially, are you taking steps to improve your income 10 or 15 or 20% per year? Are you paying off debt? Are you making good and smart investments? Are you being frugal with your dollars, or are you out on the weekends wasting your dollars? Emotionally, are you doing the things emotionally to get rid of the baggage? Do we or do we all not have baggage? That baggage sits in your subconscious mind. Are you doing therapy? Are you doing NLP? I talked about quite a bit, neuro-linguistic programming. What are you doing to get rid of that baggage and the things that happened in your past that define you to be the person you are today? If you're not doing anything about that, you're living in that mantra forever. You're living in that scenario forever. Physically, are you getting sleep? Are you working on your nutrition? Are you making sure you're hydrated? Are you getting aerobic exercise? Are you getting anaerobic exercise? Are you physically capable to achieve the dreams that you want to achieve? Family. We talked about text communications with your siblings. We talked about the constant communication with our people. We talk about how we communicate and how we converse with our kids and our spouse and our better half. And then relationships, guys. Are we being thoughtful? Are we being caring? Are we reaching out to the people that are important to us? Are we spending time with the people that need help? Are we reaching out to those that are in need? I have two really good friends of mine that are dealing with very serious cancer right now. And those individuals mean the world to me. I've known them for quite a long period of time, and they're both fighters and they're both battlers. Every 4 or 5 weeks, 2 weeks, it really doesn't matter, I reach out to them. And I say, how you doing, man? How's the fight? You doing all right? What can I do for you? How can I help you? That little thought of kindness and of empathy means the world to them. And both of them, I know, appreciate it as they go through their battle because they got to stay strong. So you want to look at your life, guys. When we say wake up a better person than the day before, how many people understand or invest in the stock market? Raise your hand. Stock market. All right. If you study the stock market, they have what's called technical analysis. Technical analysis is a game of understanding where the direction of a stock or an investment or a mutual fund is headed. In the game of investing, for those that know it, it's a very simple equation. You want to take yourself or your investment from the bottom left of the chart and move it to where? The top right. It's a very, very simple thought process. You want to make an investment in something that's going from the bottom left to the top right. I would love for you all to think of yourself and your own personal life and your family and your situation at Sun Toyota and your situation in your life. Everybody right now should say, I'm at the bottom left. Now, whether that bottom left came from way down here and you've really made progress to get to where you are, and consider it a starting point today and move from the bottom left to the top right. And the one thing that I will tell you is, just like you look at the stock chart of Amazon or Google or any of the great companies and investments that are out there, is they're going to go up a little bit and they're going to do what? Go down a little bit. And they're going to go up a little bit more and they're going to go down a little bit more. And there's going to be 1 step forward and 2 steps back many times in our lives. But what we want to do is we want to get from there to here. And the key to doing that, guys, is to be crystal clear about your direction and what you want, and then the decisions you make, the action you take, the strategy you implement, and most importantly, the execution of the strategy that you engage in. Does that make sense to you? So I will tell you to wake up a better person than the day before, and if that is your everyday mantra, and you're fully focused and crystal clear about it, you'll achieve all your dreams. They might not come overnight, but they're eventually going to come. Make sense?
Yep.
Love you guys. If I can help in any way, you let me know, okay?